Ahmad Bradshaw jersey you got on?
Hey, hey, turn it up loud. The sports podium is in the house right now. Dropping truth bombs everywhere they go with the stacks on lock. Breaking down plays like a ticking clock. Sports podium, 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 podium. Let's go. Sports podium.
We're back, guys.
Oh, it stopped.
We are back. We are back. Glad to be
That
joined by
intro
all
slapped.
these by all these familiar faces. Sam, don't ever interrupt me again in your life. It'll be the last thing you ever do. Joined by all these beautiful faces here. A lot of y'all recognize them off of X and by their names and stuff. And guys, there's a lot to talk about over this past weekend with the championship games and the stuff we've seen from football and what all the coaching and stuff. So we're just gonna go jump right into it. And and this is no shot to any Bills fan out there, but we got a Sam Darnold Super Bowl before a Josh Allen Super Bowl. So and to me it's very surprising. The Jets actually did draft a Super Bowl quarterback, just not on the Jets. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we'll go ahead and start with the list here. And hey, first, the question directed to you is what was your take on that Seahawks Rams game?
It was a really good game. Kind of reminded me of the last game that they had in Week 16, except in that Week 16 game, Darnold was bad up until the fourth quarter and overtime. Whereas in this game, he really shut up a lot of doubters in the fact that he went toe-to-toe with Matt Stafford, who's arguably going to win MVP next week at the awards, and made the plays when they needed them. I thought for sure that if the Seahawks got fourth down on that last drive any sooner than they ended up getting it, I think it was like 20 seconds the Rams had in the end. But if Sam would have made the wrong play there, I truly believe that the Rams would have driven down and won that game. So kudos to Sam. I think a lot of Jets fans will agree with me where, we have no ill will towards Sam Darnold. I think he was put in a shit situation in New York. He had Adam Gase as his coach. They had, I think, Jamison Crowder as his wide receiver one, who they signed at the time, which is crazy to think about. And he was destined to fail. And I'm glad that he found his footing in Minnesota, and even they cast him off, which I feel like the Vikings should be catching more flack about getting rid of Sam Darnold than the Jets have been catching, because he found his footing once again in Seattle, and now I couldn't be happier for him. I'm definitely rooting for the Seahawks. Yeah, great game between the Seahawks and Rams, and glad that Darnold was able to get the win.
Sam?
Oh, hi. Okay. Yeah. The when you look at that Rams and Seahawks game, I thought it was interesting. I thought the Rams scored more because I think everybody expected the Seahawks to kind of crunch them. But this is a division game, and all of that just goes right out the damn window. So here come the Seahawks, right? Suffering defense, not making Sam Darnold do anything too crazy, but if he needs to, he'll make a nice 50-yard bomb to JSN like it's nothing. So I'm really impressed with Sam Darnold. I'm sure Vikings fans are not happy. But hey, look, he gets to go to the Super Bowl, the big dance right now. And man, I mean, what can you say? What an incredible journey. How many quarterbacks show up in year 5 and completely change the way they play? That is a rare thing. I see it. The only recent examples I have are Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, totally changed up. So, and people say coach and system, and that's a part of it, sure. But if you go back and look about how they played before to how they play now, their fundamentals are better, their stance is better, their throwing and accuracy is better. There's a change there. So, hats off to the Seahawks and Sam Darnold. They seem to really, really have something special there, and it very well could get them a trophy.
Dave?
Back to you in the studio.
Well, first, I'm going to do what Matt failed to do since he already cracked. Bruising ball intro.
That's right.
So, Sam Darnold. Matt's a huge advocate for Sam Darnold. I'm going to say that now. He calls him Sammy on the side. He loves him some Sammy. But
Great name, Sam. Just saying.
Sam Darnold on the Jets, ass. Sam Darnold with the Niners. Actually, with the Niners, pretty sure the year he was with the Niners, on training camp, Shanahan said that Sam Darnold was performing better than Brock Purdy. Which Kyle Shanahan is like a QB wizard, so that's I don't see that he didn't perform better. Now that he's on, he went to the Vikings, played well there. Granted, the Vikings had weapons. They had Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson. They had a stellar defense last year, just as the Seahawks do this year. They don't have a bad coach. So Sam Darnold succeeded. Vikings went and moved on from Sam Darnold. They went and, stuck with their first-round pick in J.J. McCarthy, which showed this year was not a good idea. Then Sam Darnold went to the Seahawks after the Seahawks shipped out Geno Smith. Geno Smith Seahawks, I don't even believe they made the playoffs. And now they picked up Sam Darnold, who both are journeyman quarterbacks at this point, jumping from team to team to team. But the chemistry with Sam Darnold and the Seahawks was better than Geno. And the defense is just 10 times better this year for the Seahawks. I think the defense has a lot to do why they're in the Super Bowl right now. But Sam Darnold is playing well. I'm not gonna give him his I'm gonna give him his flowers. I'm not a huge Sam Darnold guy. That's pretty much it. I mean, he is doing what he has to do for his team to win, and that's respectable. But I'm not going to go as far and say that he's the reason they're where they're at right now. Matt, you can take that.
Matt.
All right. First off, first time on the stream, I think, with Hot Takes. Appreciate you having me. Obviously, you do a lot with David. We had a pod last year, right? Me, David, a couple guys on the stream, and David was like, "Why would you keep Sam Darnold? You got J.J. McCarthy. He's a champion. He's a champion." I was like, "Pay Sam Darnold 2 years."
I never said he was a champion.
Why would you
can go ahead and back on the tape on that. Never said that. I said I clearly stated that the smart move for the Vikings would be to keep J.J. McCarthy because they spent a first-round pick on him.
Okay. All right.
And that's what they did. They saved, $50 million or $35 million on the year with that. Granted, it did not work out. I was wrong. It didn't work out.
Oh no! You saved $35 million. That's great. You could have had a playoff.
They were not going to the Super Bowl. They weren't going to the playoffs, regardless. Too many injuries.
Hey, David, remember Hot Takes rules, right? Let me finish talking. Then you.
I was just about to say something. He's just just rambling over there.
So
continue.
Somebody
Matt,
else is in trouble, but me. Wow, that's cool.
A classic situation where you have Jefferson looking from the mirror in the rain. I mean, from the window while it's raining down, looking at Jason at the Super Bowl right now. That's what he has going on. But on a serious note, real quick, Sam Darnold is playing really good football. He played really great in the most important game of his career/season this year. I agree with you about Seattle's defense. I think Seattle defense is more of a major impact than Sam Darnold. But it's not just Seattle's defense. I think the Shaheed trade in the season, that 3rd and 4th round pick I think you gave up, showed that was 100% worth it. I think Kenneth Walker had a very good game for him, considering Charbonnet was out this week. They have a really good tight end, AJ Barner, I think his name is. AJ Barner is really good too. And even Cam Akers stepped up a little bit too as a backup to kind of fill up the gap. But I think when you look at Seattle, they're the most complete team in the NFL. And Sam Darnold is good enough to get them to the top. And it's crazy. Out of all the quarterbacks in 2018 draft, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield, he might be the first one to get a ring.
Showtime.
Yeah, I just want to give my props to Sam Darnold. Like, having 14 wins in back-to-back seasons, I thought he would crumble at some point in the playoffs, and he's been managing games, honestly, and not turning the ball over in the playoffs. Like, I give him my props, and they have a really good defense that keeps them in games. Yeah, I don't know.
Mafia.
Yeah, I mean, I think being labeled as like a game manager or like a system quarterback, it kind of gets like a bad rap. But I think Sam Darnold is kind of proof that he's a system quarterback, and the system wasn't right. Like Hate first said, there was no real system around him for the Jets, and you can if you put him on a team that has good weapons and a good defense, he's going to be good enough to win you football games when you need it. So I'm happy for him. I like to see the guys who they kind of don't get a fair shake, but then they come back and kind of prove their worth, prove their skill set, and so I'm happy for him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, now on the Rams side, Matthew Stafford, what in your mind, we can all sit here and say, oh, if he would have won the Super Bowl this year, he would have retired, but we don't know. We really don't know. Now, in your situation, what do you do? What do you do if you're him and the coach and the GM want to bring in a quarterback to sit behind you a couple of years? You tell them, let me train this guy, or you're retiring. I mean, he is going into his 18th season playing football, so he has been playing for a while. Do you guys think he hangs it up, or do you think he's got a couple more years left in him?
Well, I think he took a pretty good, team friendly deal this 1 year to stay with the Rams. So I think they're going to be kind of up against it to pay him if they want to keep him around. So that'll be interesting to see what he decides to do if he does come back. I think they're going to have to pay him quite a bit to get him to stay, and then they have lots of free agents as well that are going to deserve money. Off the top of my head, they have Devontae Adams. I think he's up for a contract as well. So it'll be interesting. He's going to have to make up his mind, and if he wants to come back, I'm sure they'll find a way to make it work. But I don't think they'll be getting him on the same value that they're getting out of him this year.
I think
first.
Matthew Stafford hangs
go ahead,
it up.
Dave.
Oh, my fault.
No, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, Dave.
Hangs it up.
Why?
Oh no, he wasn't injured this. Did he have injuries this year?
No.
He came into the season with a
He came into it, yeah.
Bad back.
Bad back. Okay. He's getting older. I mean, he made it this far. He had the best year of his career. End off on a good note.
It's not the years, baby. It's the mileage.
Hey, if he still wants to keep throwing it, go ahead. I think this was the year for the Rams to actually win it all, and they couldn't. And I think it's time for the Rams to move on too.
So, real quick, can I just chime in, or are we doing an order?
Go ahead.
So, real quick, there's no way he's retiring. I was in a mindset whether he wins or loses here, he was not retiring. You have a 46 touchdown season. You already have a 3-year deal with Devontae, I think. So Devontae's there for another 2 more years. You already have locked up. I mean, you might say that this might have been the year to win it. Next year could be the year to win it too. That defense is still up and coming. You have probably the second best, maybe not the best wide receiver duo in football. You have a really good running back tandem between Kyron Williams and Corum. And you got a great head coach in Sean McVay. And again, like I said, you're probably winning the MVP. You had 46 touchdowns this year. You looked great for the most part all year, except for the Atlanta game. Why would you hang it up?
So with the reason I say hang it up is because I feel like this is his peak at 41. I think this is his peak. I don't think he's going to play better than he played this year.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? And it's obviously going around. Everybody's talking about it. If you still have it in you, why not play for another year to see what could happen? You potentially have one of the better rosters in the NFL right now. Not a lot of free agents going into next year. So why not take that chance in a division that you could potentially possibly win if, against potential Super Bowl champion. You know what I'm saying? So you have a top 10 roster in the NFL. If you feel comfortable and you go into the offseason with no injuries, you take that chance. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. I think he's coming back for sure as well. I think I saw some report that came out like right before the game the other day that said that he's probably going to return next year. And then after the game, someone asked Sean McVay, like, will you have Stafford back next year? And he basically said if Stafford wants to play, he's our starting quarterback. So I'm sure if he's due an extension or if he's due money, they'll do whatever they need to on the back end to make sure that if Stafford's not retiring, then he's playing quarterback for the Rams. I think he definitely had his best season as a pro. I think that the MVP award is going to solidify that. Like Matt said, 46 touchdowns. I think he also threw for like 4,700 yards. So like, I know it's not like Drew Brees was throwing for 5,000 yards every season. It felt like that's not so super common anymore. So 4,700 is still pretty damn impressive.
Oh yeah.
And top wide receiver duo in the game. You got was it Parkinson, the tight end? He seems to be like a young up and coming tight end. So I can't imagine he's going to retire. I think he's hungry for the second Super Bowl. I think that they have the team to do it. I think the defense failed him in more than just the Seattle game. I think that he had to overcome bad defense play for like the whole second half of the season. And I just think that they couldn't at the end of the day, they lost because they couldn't get Sam Darnold off the field, which, in 2018 would have been laughable, but Sam's better now. And I think that's just what it boiled down to. So they were very close to making a Super Bowl and overcoming, below average defensive play. And I think they're going to run it back for sure.
Hey, first to jump onto your thing, 4,700 yards, 46 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and a rating on the year of 109.2.
Yeah,
man.
I think like there are a lot of people who want Drake May to win the MVP. I just don't think his numbers match up. I think his completion percentage is better, and I think maybe his QBR is a touch better. But I think Stafford was far and away the best quarterback in the league this year.
71 to 77, and completion percentage is 65 to 72. But also, Stafford threw for 108 more passes. So, but we'll get to that MVP talk after. We'll save that topic for after. Anybody else want to speak on Stafford?
Just like the techno song you hear in all your gyms, right? One more time. That's Stafford. One more time, baby.
I mean, we'll see what happens. Now we'll flip to the other side, and we'll talk about the AFC. Obviously, the snow towards the end of that game impacted a lot of that passing game for both teams. Even Drake May had a horrible game. We all know that Stidham wasn't going to really do much, and then the snow made it even worse. But we could sit here and play the whole what if Bo Nix was there, and we could do all of that. But obviously the Patriots won, right? we all know the Patriots are playing on house money. No one expected the Patriots to even make it as far as they did, to even make it to the Super Bowl, right? Going into the Super Bowl with a young quarterback, you know, this is his only second year in, right? Or third? No, second.
It's second year.
Second. What do you tell a quarterback in his second year, his first time in the Super Bowl, going into this game? What are you telling him?
Just be you, right? Like, just be you. Just go out there and play your game. Don't play your game so much that you're CJ Stroud, but play your game that Drake May that we've seen you be over and over again this year. You've had some crazy playoff games where, you know, you haven't looked stellar. That doesn't mean you can't show up here and be the team that needs you. I mean, he made the clutch play in Denver just to run it there. I know it's not fancy, it's not sexy or whatever, but he made the play that was necessary. So just tell Drake May to be you, and don't feel like you have to overachieve. That's what I would say. Nice and steady.
Off you.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, you know, you just kind of I think first of all, I think they have the right coach to kind of deliver that message to him and kind of, you know, help guide him through these next couple weeks and not get too ahead of himself. And I think Vrabel's a good coach and like a good like leader of men kind of thing, if you will. So I think they have a good coach. They have a good team around them. So I think you know, you tell them that you can trust the guys around you to make plays, and you know, just kind of obviously whatever they're doing is working. They made it to the Super Bowl, so they're just don't change up anything, and you'll be fine. I think that's kind of the message that you send to them. Just keep playing your game, and the rest of the team will be there to pick you up if things go sideways on you. The rest of the team will be there for them, and I think that's just kind of the message that you got to send.
Showtime.
Just do what he's been doing all year with Drake May. Just, what can I say? He's been impressive all year. Just do what you do. Don't let the moment get too big. Treat it like any normal start, I guess.
Matt.
I'm gonna be honest. This isn't what Vrabel will probably do, but I would walk up to Drake May in the locker room and say, "You are a dog. You are the best player in football. If you get picked off on that throw that throw again. Keep throwing it, because we're gonna live or die by you. So go out there and do your thing." That's all I'm gonna tell him you're a dog. Just go do your thing.
Dave.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do? I mean, Drake May has played a phenomenal year. He didn't have the best game against Denver. I mean, as soon as the fourth quarter hit, they got hit with a monster blizzard. Couldn't even throw the ball, couldn't even kick the ball. The only thing you could do is run. If you didn't run for a first down, you weren't getting the first down. Last game was definitely like a shit show. But other than that, he went into the playoffs. He was part of a team that beat 3 top 5 defenses. Who's to say he can't do it again? Or help his team do it again? I think him and Sam Darnold are in kind of like the same boat. You know, you got 2 years of Drake May, and you really only have 2 good years of Sam Darnold. So I think they're in the same boat. You go in, tell them, hey, this is anybody's game. Be the better quarterback. That's it.
Hey, first.
I just want to preface this by saying I could not be more disgusted that the Patriots are back in the Super Bowl.
Do you hate it?
Yes, it's a cruel reality that we live in.
Is it a bag-worthy situation?
What's that?
Is it a bag-worthy situation?
Bring the bag.
It might be bag worthy. I think if Sam Darnold beats the Patriots in the Super Bowl, that makes him a top 5 Jet quarterback of all time, even though he's not on the Jets. And the advice that I would give to Drake May is, just hope and pray that Sam Darnold throws 4 first-half interceptions like C.J. Stroud did. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be in this game right now. But I digress. Tell him to put pine tar on his hands because he's been fumbling the ball a lot these playoffs. And, don't keep control of that ball because this Seattle defense will make you pay for it. And I don't think Sam Darnold's going to throw 4 interceptions unless he sees ghosts again against the Patriots. But that's what I would tell Drake May. And I'm sick to my stomach about this, by the way. So sorry if I'm coming off a little bitter.
I mean, listen, we've been calling for Sam Darnold to throw ghosts all playoffs, and we've yet to see it. So it wouldn't surprise me if he does it in the Super Bowl. But Griff, the man himself, went from Tom Brady to now Drake May in the Super Bowl. What would you tell Drake May first time in the Super Bowl, being his second year in the season?
If I'm Vrabel, I just tell him play your game. You've been doing it all season, even though you don't have the best stat lines of the playoffs. Just play your game. Make the plays that need to be made. He's done it against the Chargers, throwing a lob pass over Derwin James's head, which was a dot. He put up 178 yards passing, but he did throw up 3 touchdowns and 100 rating against that Texan defense. No quarterback has done. No, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, they played him, haven't put up 3 touchdowns. There's been picks or something. But in the Denver Broncos, he used his legs. So he basically played his game, even though it wasn't there passing. He can be there running. In the end, just play your game. The plays will develop, and if you stick to what your game plan is, you're sure to win.
Respect. Now, on the other side of that game, Denver, we know they got Bo Nix coming back, and they look forward to another good year. Defense was outstanding this year for Denver. Going into the offseason, do we think that Denver needs to fix any big problems that they have? And, number one, I'm looking at it. I love Sutton and I love Mims, but I think they need more of a solidified number 1 wide receiver for that offense. And, I don't know who they could pick up. I don't know free agents yet. Haven't looked at that. But, I think that would solidify that team more on the offensive side, because that defense is a top 5 defense, if not the best defense in the NFL right now. And hey, first we'll start with you. What are you looking for as a Denver to fix if they have any major problems?
Well, I mean, this was a little bit of a head scratcher, but I think they just fired their offensive coordinator either yesterday or today.
No, it was today. I shared it in the group chat.
Yeah. So I'm a little confused because I mean, Bo Nix's stats didn't jump off the page, but he seems to be like he got them the huge win in Buffalo. I feel like they're a little bit dependent on these fourth quarter comebacks. So maybe they want to bring someone in who can give Bo a little bit more consistency. But I definitely agree that the best way to level up the offense is to go out and get a big name wide receiver. And similar to Hot Take, I haven't looked much at who's going to be a free agent going into this year. But I do think that Cortland Sutton would be better as a slot receiver, wide receiver 2 type. He had a couple of bad drops in both the Buffalo game and the New England game. So you need a receiver who's always going to be 100% a reliable target. I think there was one throw that would have gone for a first down. That's was nicely placed by Stidham, and I think it just went right through Sutton's hands. And stuff like that can't happen in big games like that. So I think receiver is a great place to start. I think that defense even before the snowstorm, they were giving the Patriots hell. And if it wasn't for that like odd play with like he threw it backwards, he didn't throw it backwards, and it set them up for an easy touchdown. I think that Drake May was having a really hard time like throwing on that defense before the weather conditions turned. So that defense is stellar. I think if they could run it back with that defense next year, bring in a little bit more of bring in an OC who can develop Bo Nix into a more consistent four quarters quarterback, I think that they could be scary, because I do think that they have a Super Bowl caliber defense for sure.
Sam?
I'm with Hate first here. They do have a Super Bowl caliber defense. I think they can go out and try to solidify that wide receiver position there. Maybe somebody like Alec Pierce, you can throw some money at him from the Colts or something, be a decent number 2. Heck, you might be able to get Pittman from the Colts because he's really expensive and they are coming up against some cap problems with it. So, there are opportunities out there for them to upgrade and maybe not have to, bet the whole thing to do it. Use way too much of that Walmart money or something.
Dave?
Yeah, Denver Broncos defense is amazing. I mean, they were ranked number 1? And the Texans were ranked number 1. Broncos were ranked number 2. They did fire their offensive coordinator, which was a great move, because we saw many times this season of that offense stalling when it shouldn't have been. Their offense, I know you mentioned that they need a number 1 wide receiver. They have Cortland Sutton. You mentioned Mims. They also have Tim Patrick, which I didn't really see much of him. We saw flashes. Troy Franklin, we saw flashes before injury. But yeah, if they like Michael Pittman, if he's available, any wide receiver that's a big name, if the money's there, he's available, they get that for him. They bring in a new offensive coordinator. They're going to be right back into the playoffs and possibly back in the AFC Championship.
Matt?
I agree with everybody. I think the wide receiver situation obviously needs to be addressed. Honestly, I'm not sold on RJ Harvey either. I really think there's a lot of flaws in skill positions on the Denver offense. I don't think RJ Harvey, he could transition to something really. I just think there's a lot of flaws on offense. I think Bo Nix really showed this year that he, even though it's stalled in certain moments, he can kind of do with anybody. A wide receiver that comes to my mind, and I don't think Hate First is going to like this, obviously, but Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson might not be happy. I don't know how much longer. I think he doesn't have much longer on his deal either. I think he maybe has 2 years left.
I think it's 1 year left.
1 or 2.
Didn't he sign an extension?
Yeah,
He
but
signed the extension.
he only has 1 or 2 years left, right, on that extension?
Yeah.
No, he signed it before this past season. I think it was 4 years, 130 million.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, Lordy.
So we'd have to trade him. We would have to trade him.
Well,
Jesus.
like I said, Garrett Wilson can either run cardio in New York or maybe play some games in Denver. But
Damn.
honestly,
Unnecessary. Damn.
honestly, I do think there's a lot of, like I said, I agree with the wide receiver flaws. I got to see more out of RJ Harvey next year. I think it's crazy to me that J.K. Dobbins felt like he was more efficient when he was healthy this season than RJ was. And if that's the case, then that's a problem going forward as well, too. And one last thing I want to say is that Stidham screwed up something very, very funny this weekend. And what could have been very funny was that Sam Darnold and Stidham beat both MVP candidates. And that could have been the greatest conversation to have this week.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him. Hate First. Stunt on them hoes, baby. Stunt on them hoes.
Don't worry, Justin.
Showtime.
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback off of everyone else said. Honestly, I disagree. Like they need another wide receiver. Sutton isn't a true wide receiver 1. That defense is Super Bowl caliber for sure, and they need another back to complement Harvey for sure. I think because they were at their best with Dobbins healthy too. So
Yeah, Showtime.
Mafia?
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I think I think probably even fixing the running game would help. Kind of fix the wide receiver issue. But before even addressing the wide receiver issue, if you're a team that can, it's gonna depend on what this new offensive coordinator, what kind of style of football he wants to run. But I just pulled up the Denver Broncos stats this year. Like we were saying, J.K. Dobbins was a more efficient runner, averaged 5 yards to 3.7 from R.J. Harvey. So, in 2026, I think if you're relying on J.K. Dobbins to be your number one running back, I feel like that's an issue that needs to be addressed. Hopefully, R.J. Harvey can pick it up and play a little bit better for them. But I think that might be an issue that needs to be addressed kind of first, if you will.
Griff?
Agree with everyone. You need a better running back to complement, RJ Harvey or J.K. Dobbins. Yes, you need another wideout, but what is Sean Payton's offense good at? Utilizing the tight ends. I don't think I've seen them utilize the tight ends at all. You need a good solid tight end to, open up the pass and the run game as well. So if they get another good tight end as well, then they're going to have a good offense. There was just inconsistencies. I didn't see anything like their tight ends.
Yeah. I mean, they had Evan Ingram, but he was hurt. He was hurt a couple of games as well. So,
Yeah.
Oh, you're not telling me nothing. I hate him. So, it's just that simple. All of a sudden, he went from dropping 50 balls a year to the Jags and had like an all-time season. Get the fuck out of here. That bullshit. Okay. So, I'm gonna say, I mean, obviously, guys, we're all in agreement that they do need a wide receiver. They might need to upgrade their running backs and, maybe look at their tight end position. But, what Sean Payton has done with this team in the last 3 years has really, changed that division as a whole, because now that the Chargers, the Chiefs, with Patrick Mahomes, they're always going to be in the conversation, right? At the beginning of every year, they're always going to be in the conversation. Yeah, we know what happened this year, with him tearing his ACL and stuff, but they still had a chance towards the end of the season to make the playoffs. But the Broncos will definitely be back, and they'll definitely make some noise next year and potentially be in the AFC Championship game again. But moving on to our Super Bowl matchup, we got Drake May versus Sam Darnold, and the Patriots versus the Seahawks. We got a rematch of a couple years ago, not a couple years ago, but of the Super Bowl where the INT in the end zone instead of handing the ball to Marshawn Lynch. I think it's going to be a great game, guys. I really do. I think that we're going to see a high scoring game. I think both offenses are going to come out and play very well. And Stephon Diggs is looking at the side of his eye at Josh Allen while Josh Allen's at home. But it's no big deal though. There's just shots everywhere. It's been a while since we've been on the sports podium, so we got to take the shots when we can get them, bud.
I hear you, but stop it. He's already dead.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Matt, aren't you a Bills fan too?
No, I'm a Ravens, but I'm a big Allen guy.
You're a big Allen guy. That's what it was.
Squawk,
you're a big Allen guy.
I do like Allen.
But
he likes that.
Hey, first, what is your thoughts on this Super Bowl preview?
I'm coming at this from Jets fan perspective. Obviously, I've already said it a couple times. Sick that the Patriots are back in the big game. What do I want to happen? I want a 34-7 blowout. Seattle win. Drake May looks terrible, turns the ball over. That's probably not what's going to happen. I do think that Seattle's going to win. I do think it'll be close. I just think that Drake May has faced like a gauntlet of defenses in these playoffs, and I think that You know, he's gotten away with a couple of iffy games, and I just think that Seattle's going to find a way to squeak it out. I do think it's going to be a good game. But yeah, obviously from my side of the fence here, I'm going to be watching it purely for hoping that hate watching the Patriots, of course, love watching Sam Darnold, and I think it sets it up quite nicely. Sam Darnold has a chance to avenge the Ghosts game. The Seahawks have a chance to avenge the Malcolm Butler interception game. So a lot of potential storylines. And then the Patriots have a chance to get their 7th Super Bowl? No, nobody wants that. No, nobody outside of Massachusetts,
Griff
Connecticut,
might.
Rhode Island.
Maybe. I got a feeling he does.
Nobody outside of the greater New England area wants it. You know, like those United States maps where it says here's the region.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what
New
I'll be
England.
doing if we win.
Yeah, it'll be all about 7 Super Bowls. But I don't know. New England has bulletin board material now. They got some bulletin board material after Bill Belichick got snubbed from the Hall of Fame. That's
Good. If Eli Manning wasn't first ballot, neither is Bill Belichick. Good.
Order is
done.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Whoa,
Good.
Real quick, if
Good.
Bill Belichick's not first ballot Hall of Fame, no quarterback ever. No coach ever can be first ballot Hall of Fame.
Okay.
You know what? That was it was the Jets' last win over Bill Belichick because apparently they were bringing up Spygate as a reason to keep him in.
Okay.
Spygate happened against the Jets. So
Yeah,
I
Bill
mean,
Polian.
listen,
Bill Polian lives the petty
Spygate.
life, and so do I. I love that.
Spygate, Deflategate. It's
Fuck
all
off.
part of the process. It's all
Second-
part of the process. You know what I mean? There's only one guy. That's only one guy that took down Goliath, bud, twice.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Only one guy.
Just to let you know.
Okay.
Little pat on my back.
That's all.
I'll say
Pat
my
on my
piece.
back.
I'll say my piece when it's my
That's
turn.
all. Sam, thoughts on this Super Bowl matchup?
So I think it's going to be tight at first, but there's going to be a player either on either team that has to make the big play. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see them both coming out with their opening script and scoring, and then it's going to get real cold there for a second. But somewhere around the third quarter or fourth quarter, someone either makes a mistake or a JSN touchdown or a Diggs touchdown. There's going to be that big play somewhere in the second half that nobody's going to see coming. Whoever scores that wins. And I'm going to go with JSN and the Seahawks to make that play. But hey, this is going to be, like we said before, a tight game. I just think it's going to blow open somewhere near the end of it.
Dave?
I think this is probably going to be a very entertaining Super Bowl.
Yeah, Bad
You got
Bunny.
The teams match up very easily, very equal. Drake May versus Sam Darnold, both pocket passing quarterbacks. Traymon Henderson and Kenneth Walker, both good running backs. I think the only thing it's going to come down to the wide receivers. JSN, dog. But he's playing against one of the top corners in the NFL too, in Gonzo. So it's going to be a dogfight, I think. And both defenses are good. I think Seattle has the edge. Seattle's definitely, I think, going to win. But it's definitely going to be an entertaining Super Bowl.
Matt?
Seattle's going to dog walk the Patriots. Completely dog walk them, dude. Dude, do we understand? Real quick, let me just break it down real quick, right? So they're playing against.
Hold it, Griff. Hold it, Griff. It's coming. It's
My
coming.
bad. They're playing against Sam Darnold, right? Guess what Justin Herbert and his O-line is? Ass. When you combine Justin Herbert with that O-line, he is ass. Guess what CJ Stroud is? Ass. Guess what Stidham is? Ass. Sam Darnold's slightly above that. And Drake May has had 7 or 8 turnovers in a playoff run. And only reason why they're winning is because he is better than the other quarterbacks I just named across. Them other quarterbacks are nowhere near Sam Darnold at this point. But on a serious note, though, the Seahawks are the most complete team. I don't think Drake May has looked good at all in this playoffs run, consistently good. I think you can argue that Sam Darnold has consistently looked good. When you talk about skill position, Kenneth Walker, the way he's playing versus the way Henderson's been playing lately since Henderson's injury, they're not the same player. Kenneth Walker's better right now. When you go wide receiver 1's better, wide receiver 2's better for Seattle. When you go tight end's better than tight end. When you go defense is still better than the Patriots defense as a whole. And then, honestly, even though Vrabel, I like Vrabel a lot, I do give McDonald the nudge at coach as well, too. So I think they're playing with house money. I think Drake May has not looked great. I just think Drake May is better than Justin Herbert and his O-line, CJ Stroud, and Stidham.
Showtime.
Look, I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm not going to hate on the Patriots, even though I want to. Okay, look, May's had a great season.
Where's Olivia at?
Horrible playoffs. You can't even sugarcoat that he's had a horrible playoffs. It'll come down to whatever quarterback makes less mistakes, honestly. Should be a dogfight. I'm super hyped.
Mafia.
I think it's going to be Seattle. I think it's going to be a close game. It'll be a field goal game here or there. One of those games where you hope that the teams watch these championship games from last weekend and they don't take the points off the board and they don't go for it on fourth down and they kick the field goal and they keep putting points on the board so that you're not kicking yourself later on in the game. Because I think it's going to be a battle. But I'll give the edge to Seattle. I think we've said it here enough that their roster top to bottom is probably better than the Patriots roster. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good game. But I'll give the edge to Seattle. And that's not just I'm a Bills fan hating on the Patriots either.
Griff,
You sure about that?
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Well, obviously, we all know where I'm going. I hope the Patriots win, but I think it's going to be a very close Super Bowl. Hopefully, both offenses break out. And you guys have kind of underestimate the Patriot defense. You've seen what their interior linemen's been doing to these right guards and the centers. They're beating them at the line of scrimmage. I mean, Denver had one of the best offensive lines in all of football in that AFC Championship game. They completely, made them look silly with Barmore and Williams, two of the best interior linemen in football. And then on the back end, you got Gonzalez and Carlton Davis, who are allowing 59 QBR combined because they're playing sticky coverage. That's their best plan. As for Drake May and the offense, yeah, they're kind of bad. Their stat line ain't good, but I just hope history repeats itself. Patriots as underdogs against the Rams. Patriots as underdogs against Seattle. Second-year quarterback in. Winning by a field goal.
Griff, real quick.
you don't
If
have
the
Adam
Patriot-
Vinatieri anymore to win the Super Bowl by a field.
Who's asking me what?
Put him right there.
I
All right,
don't-
Griff, Griff,
what?
real quick. If the Patriots win on behalf of Bruise and Ball, Matt will send you a case of beer for talking shit. Or, you know
Hey,
what?
listen, all I can say is this.
I'll cover that.
All I can say is this. I wasn't expecting a Super Bowl. I was just expecting the playoffs, but I'm riding the train.
I found I found a live picture of Christian Gonzalez. Is that who it is? On that play where Gonzo. I found live footage of Gonzo on that Stidham bomb.
Oh man!
You think you're so funny, huh?
He got
Oh,
choked.
Tell me, how's it
He's
feel
got
to be in the basement? Hey, first.
Hate First is exactly where Hate First was when I made this account. Hate First
You,
Patriots.
He's made a nice little niche for himself,
Hey,
Ah, man.
hey, hot take. Can I say one more quick thing?
Of course.
All right, real quick. So, Griff, like I said, I'll owe you the case of beer if you guys win. But you talked about how like the pressure they're getting through the O line. The Chargers had one of the worst O lines in football this year.
Excuse after excuse. Keep moving that damn goalpost, buddy.
Oh, Texans have
Keep on moving that goddamn goalpost.
Texans have a terrible O line too, and then Denver has no quarterback. So it's easy to say and all that.
All right, so look. This is everyone. Goalpost. You keep on moving it even further.
Trying to move it. It's just like this. It's hard for me to.
Cases of beer.
These are NFL teams. This isn't the CFL. This is a college football when you play a set schedule or whatever.
Well, what I'm saying is that I
You
don't.
guys are acting like they're playing a college football schedule. They're playing actual NFL teams with actual NFL rosters. The Patriots took advantage against the Falcons. They took advantage against whoever was facing in front of them, unlike the damn Bills and your Ravens.
Yeah, and you're playing backup quarterbacks in the AFC Championship. Let's not talk about that though.
Hey, Griff,
Oh wow!
Ladies and gentlemen, the volcano has exploded.
Griff, real quick,
Get the fuck out of here.
your guys get
Easy.
more of a loss on Sean Payton than you guys winning.
Tom Payton blew that game. I agree, but
Like-
they took advantage. Momentum swung to the Patriots.
Like they got real quick. They had someone give them the time pass for Disney World and got to the rides faster than everyone because they had the pass to get up there.
Oh man.
Now you're at the front, right? And there's someone else in front of you that had a pass before you, which is Seattle, and they're just gonna dog. Like, like
My God, dog walk. I heard this thing so many fucking times.
Griff, it's just that D line not as good as I think you think it is. In my personal,
I
Like,
think
you
Griff's
have-
gonna choke Matt out.
I think they want us to stare at something. I'm not sure.
At least, hey, listen.
I just want to say
At
about
least
D-
I don't blow a 15-point lead to Josh Allen and the Bills with
It's a
how
21
many
point lead
minutes
to
left.
Josh Allen and the Bills.
What's that?
You
I said
blew
just a
you blew
21 point lead to Josh
You
Allen.
blew a 21-point lead. Yes, I admit that. But at least I'm not like the Ravens that decided to choke away the first game in
Wait,
Highmark.
Wait, Griff, one more thing. I say one more thing. My bad. Hot takes. I just take 30
No,
seconds.
go ahead. Go ahead.
This is how bad, not bad. This is how underwhelming the Patriots offense is, right? How many points did you guys put up that game again?
We put up 16, 28, and 10.
No. I'm talking about against Denver. What was it?
We put up 10, but you knew it was going to be a fucking blizzard.
But hold on. Josh Allen had 4 turnovers and still put up 30 plus.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like
Oh,
the
wow.
offense is not like
And Josh
this
Allen
whole-
gave the game away.
no. But hold on, this whole narrative that like Drake May and that offense has played all these top defenses and are winning games. I'm like, you put up 10. You struggle to put 10 points up against Denver.
They still looked like top defenses. Like
It doesn't matter. You win the
It-
games with how you
It
win.
doesn't matter.
Right here.
who they
Hold on.
play.
Hold on.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
No. We're gonna continue on this conversation, but I'm gonna prove something to all the Patriot fans out there. You ready? They lost to the Raiders first game of the season. Okay, team is trash. They beat the Dolphins and let the Dolphins put up 27 points. Okay, they lost to the Steelers. Okay, they beat the Panthers, which you're supposed to do because it's the Panthers. Okay, they beat the Bills by 3. Okay. They beat the Saints. Let the Saints scored 19 points on them. They beat the Titans, which they demolished the Titans, which okay, we get it, right? They
Keep moving,
demolished the
Junior.
Browns.
Keep moving.
We demolished the Browns. We get it. Okay. They beat the Falcons by 1 point. They beat the Bucks at the time where we thought they were a good team. Okay. They beat the Jets. They beat the Bengals. They mollywopped my Giants. Okay. The Bills beat them. They beat the Ravens by 4. They mollywopped the Jets, and they mollywopped the Dolphins. I don't see any good wins after what the season has amounted to that. Any good wins.
So you're not calling the Bills again? Wow. Okay. I'm gonna
I mean,
let it
honestly,
play.
bro, I'll give you the one. I'll give you the one game.
Yeah, but hey, hot takes. Because I watched that Bills and Patriots game too. There was 3 fumbles by receivers on the Bills, and you won by 3.
Of course, I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm
like I
not
said,
disagreeing with you.
and no, I'm saying to Griff, that's really not a good win either. I mean, like Keon Coleman is ass.
Oh my god.
Not
I mean,
disagreeing
not
with you.
even
I mean,
not
they
even
may
the
be-
GM wanted him, you know.
You know what?
They-
Here's something I will say, because I know that the schedule is like a big point in against the Patriots. But let me just say one thing. As a Jets fan, if we had the easiest schedule of all time and we found ourselves maybe by, a little bit of luck, a little bit of, good defensive play and, shaky quarterback play, if for whatever reason the Jets found themselves in the Super Bowl, I would not give a shit of what argument anyone had against them. I would say my only retort would be, don't care. We're in the Super Bowl. So I get it. I think that there's a lot of arguments against the Patriots, especially given that, Drake May hasn't looked like his regular season self. But I mean, at the end of the day, like they have a chance to pull off call it an upset win against the Seahawks. And then there's nothing that we'll be able to say at that point, which that worries me. That frightens me. I think when Stiddy threw that touchdown and the Broncos went up 7-0, I started preparing. I was like, the videos that I'm gonna make if Jared Stidham eliminates his Patriots team. But then there was that stupid fumble play that shouldn't have been a fumble, and it was a forward pass, and then before you know it, 7-7, 10-7, Patriots are in the Super Bowl. So but I see why Griff's retort to a lot of these us cherry picking games and stuff, saying like you guys had any schedules. Who cares? They're in the Super Bowl. So that's the one thing I will say for the Patriots.
Any more Super Bowl talk before we move on?
If you win the Super Bowl, Griff, I'm sending you some beer, and I won't ever talk bad about the Patriots. Hey, again, okay?
Listen, honestly, I don't care who wins, to be honest with you. But
David does.
I hate both teams. So
At this point, I'm just watching for Bad Bunny. That's all I care about.
Hey, hot
Honestly.
take. Listen, if we win and we start another damn dynasty, all I know is that we're gonna lose to you fools twice.
yeah, if you start another dynasty, then I know the Giants are going to a Super Bowl in the next couple of years.
yeah, there you go. See.
And so moving on to our coaching hires, and Mafia, we'll go ahead and start with you about your boy Joe Brady.
Yeah, I mean, my big takeaway so far is that, like, on my list of issues that the Bills had this year, Joe Brady was probably third, maybe fourth on the list of issues that they needed to address. I feel like they should have got rid of Sean McDermott. I don't, to this day, I don't know how Sean McDermott survived the 13-second game. I would have got rid of him then and there. The whole staff I would have got rid of after that game. I've been preaching that for a long time now, but so I think Sean McDermott's time was up. I think Brandon Beane should have been next to go, because I kind of like it all flows down from the top for me, at least. It's like, okay, Sean McDermott is just doing the best he can with a bad kind of roster around him. Joe Brady is just kind of doing the best that he can in the system that he's forced to coach in. So I feel like he's okay. Despite all this, we still are our top offense, number one rushing offense in the league. We still score points. We're able to score points pretty well. So I don't think it's that bad. The issue is, I don't think what our team needed. I don't think we needed an offensive guy to come in and take over the team. I think we needed like what's the phrase that's being passed around now? A CEO coach. Like we needed like a Vrabel style like leader coach instead of a specifically defense or offensive minded coach. I think we needed someone who can kind of hold Josh Allen a little bit accountable, because he's I mean, as much as he is our team, we kind of overlook some of the flaws in his game to to make up for some of the issues on the team. So I think we needed someone to help hold him a little bit accountable for some of the mistakes that he makes. I don't know if Joe Brady is that guy. I like the hire. I think it's nice to kind of keep some continuity between the coaches and the players. You try and keep as much continuity as you can. So for that aspect, I like it. I like the fact that he is offensive minded. Is going to be a little bit different than what we had with McDermott. Overall, I don't hate it. Don't love it. I don't think Joe Brady was the problem in the team. So I don't understand why there's so much hate around it. But yeah, that's kind of my stand on it.
Who else wants to talk about that?
I'll talk about it some. I'm
just a little bit.
I'm a little confused about this hire. Not so much about Joe Brady specifically, but just the fact that they like. I feel like if the Bills owner didn't go out and do like that press conference, I think that this would have been received much differently, because he painted this picture that like, oh, he wasn't going to fire McDermott. And then after the game, he saw the emotion on all the players, and they just felt like a change had to be made, and that they hit the proverbial wall. But Joe Brady's been on the staff for a few years now, and he has been, he got an MVP season out of Josh Allen, and that it seemed like he was going to stay the OC. And now as a head coach, like, is he still going to be the one to call plays? When you're the head coach, you have game and clock management responsibilities that you take ownership of. So it becomes much harder to, call the plays as well as manage that side of things. So I wonder, and there were a couple of coaching candidates for the Bills that kind of dropped out of the running on their own. Like, I think Mike McDaniel.
I don't think Phil Rivers was ever a serious candidate.
Me either.
What?
I don't.
1 year of high school coaching, you don't think he's ready? Man,
I think that was
damn.
That was like that. That felt silly to me, and I agree with Mafia. I do think that the GM should have been sent away along with McDermott. Instead, he got promoted, which is a little odd. And then it's like they tried to pin Keon Coleman getting drafted on the coaching staff, but then there's that clip of the general man of Brandon Beane being happy that he ran a slow 40 times so that he can fall in the draft to the Bills. So like, I don't know, it just feels like there's a little bit of dysfunction in Buffalo right now. And I feel like after that press conference, the owner and the GM did the impossible. They made a coaching vacancy to coach Josh Allen look less desirable than it is, which is insane.
We've never been a well-run organization. We just had Josh Allen and Sean McDermott covering up a lot of issues on the team. Thinking back to our Rex Ryan days when Rex Ryan was our head coach, or Chan Gainey was our head coach. Like, there's just been a lot of dysfunction on the team. So I would never accuse them of being a well-run organization. I think we just kind of flew under the radar in that aspect the past couple seasons. So I wasn't surprised to see the owner acting like an idiot and kind of not making any sense in what he said. I wasn't too surprised to see that. But yeah, there's just, winning football games masks a lot of problems. So when you win games and you get to an AFC championship game or two, it masks a lot of issues because everyone thinks everything is fine. But there's always been a problem on our defense. We, for whatever reason, for the past 8 years, we can't stop the run. Ever since we got rid of Stephon Diggs, we haven't been able to get a good wide receiver. And the only reason why people think we have a good passing defense is because teams just run the ball all over us and don't pass the ball anyways. So our passing stats look good because teams are too busy running the ball all over us. So I think there's lots of issues on our team that winning a football game will hide.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna go.
Go ahead.
Real quick, I think your guy's owner ruined a chance of a good head coach coming there. I think he showed that he's not supporting his head coach at all. With that whole, like, if you're going as a head coach, you're not going to be supported as soon as things go bad. And two, I think the other downside that the Bills had was that they made it far in the playoffs, that they fired so much later than these other teams did. So they're behind the 8 ball kind of compared to others with interviewing process so far. So I think some of the candidates weren't liable at that point too because they didn't think that option was going to be open. I agree. I don't think you needed to move Joe Brady up. I don't think Joe Brady's is bad. I just don't think the offense moving the ball has been an issue. It's really been the defense the last few years and kind of discipline, it feels like a little bit too. And that's why I think you do need like a CEO type or maybe even an offensive coordinator type head coach to try to fix that defense a little bit. And then lastly, like you talked about the wide receiver situation, me and David went through it a couple weeks ago, and I think we decided the Bills had a bottom 5 wide receiver situation in the whole NFL, and they still put up 30 points a game. So if you get Allen even a upper number 2, I think that offense is just booming at that point.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think getting a wide receiver is nice, but I really don't think the offense is the issue on the team, and that's why I think it kind of makes sense to keep Joe Brady around, is because he's been here. I think this was his second full season on the team. So I think it makes sense to keep some continuity because I think that matters when you're building a team and trying to have sustained success. You try and keep as many pieces around as you can. But I do think something needed to change. I just think they didn't make enough of the changes because they should have gotten rid of Brandon Beane as well.
I agree.
Anybody else on the Bills situation?
Dave has something.
Dave?
So I do think Matt's 100% right. We did go over that. So what I'm getting from Mafias is that the offense is not a problem whatsoever.
No, I don't. I think there's problems on the offense, but I think the defensive side of the ball is the bigger problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I wanted to know. I was just trying to clarify that.
What were you going to say if he said the offense wasn't a problem?
I'm going to say that wide receiver group is dog shit.
Okay.
It does read a little bit like with the press conference. Like I said, the press conference probably made a routine firing look a whole lot worse. The press conference made it seem like there was a power struggle between McDermott and Brandon Beane, and the owner chose the general manager. And I think that kind of gives coaches that are interviewing for the position take a little bit of a pause and be like, will I find myself on the other end of this? Does the GM have like autonomy, and like if the GM puts in a bad word for me, like am I out the door? And I think another thing to look out for, the fact that Josh Allen was given such a big role in the search, maybe this kind of washes out because they hired internally, but just like the locker room dynamic of having the quarterback, kind of become part of the front office and like dictate who the coach is going to be. That kind of gives, I don't know. I saw a clip the other day, former player talking about that when a quarterback gets that much power in an organization, they kind of start to distance themselves from the rest of the locker room. And so I think from a team dynamic perspective, that might be something to look out for as well.
Anyone else? Griff, Showtime, Sam?
I think they covered it pretty well. Said all the
They did.
things.
Yeah, they covered it well.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Real quick, because we're talking about the Bills. So, real quick question. So, if this shit goes, my bad, sorry, Kirsten, goes completely south, and the Bills take a major step back, and it doesn't look like it's going good, does Josh Allen start saying, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to be able to win in Buffalo?
Don't give me a heart attack.
Oh man,
No, Mafia, I'm not trying to-
that is a question.
Here's a
all
question.
right.
Like I think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are kind of in the same situation too. Whereas like if this goes backwards like really bad, there's already been talks about how he's interested in other places possibly. Do you think that could happen with Allen if things go completely backwards with Deshaun McDermott fire, which I think it could?
I mean, based on what Allen has said, he doesn't want to play any.
Unnecessary shot.
God
God dang.
I mean, based on what Allen has said, I don't think that he's going to want to play anywhere but Buffalo. I can see him maybe, kind of putting his foot down and being like, "Hey, we need to figure this stuff out. Get a new coach, get a new GM, get something, figure out something." But I'll say the same thing that I always say about any of my teams. If Josh Allen was to demand a trade, I'll hate him as much as I hated Stephon Diggs demanding a trade to Buffalo, or I hated Kawhi Leonard when he left Toronto too. Like to me, I care about the Bills. So if Josh Allen wants to go play somewhere else, let him go play somewhere else. It would obviously hurt, but I'm not gonna care too much about it. I'll hate him as much as I hate every other player on every other team.
All right. Well, before we move on to the Titans, coach, you can hate Stephon Diggs all you want, but he's in the Super Bowl. Sam, Salah, what you thinking, bud?
Honestly, at this point, like, I wish I could tell you something fancy or something intellectual like Mafia put out there, but quite frankly, why the hell not at this point? Like, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, you can only go up from here, but I mean, you can't lose any more games than you lost last year. So
right. I mean, like, we've been bottom feeders for 4 years now. 2 of those years were with Vrabel, but I'm not going to get into the whole should he have been fired bullshit. I don't know what the story is behind that. Everybody thinks they know, but they really don't. We have to wait for the novel to come out 10 years from now for somebody that supposedly knows what happened. And then there'll be another novel about how that novel is wrong and about how it really happened. So, well, eventually it'll come out eventually. Until then, I'm just stuck here. But listen, they got Robert Saleh. Guy is obviously well-respected. Guy is obviously did a great thing for the 49ers. Half of his defense goes on IR, and he still made things happen. It caught up to him in the Seahawks playoff game, and that's how it is. I'm sure Hate First has some animosity or some things queued up about Robert Saleh, but right now, the way I look at it, fellas, is this: if he just gives me a foundation, and then I have to find the next guy, I'm fine with that, because we got to climb out of this. And right now, you're sitting there with Cam Ward, who I like. You're sitting there with $100 million plus more you're going to get when you cut Calvin Ridley's bum ass off the team. Him, Tony Pollard, and I think Snead, bum ass number 2. You get them all off the team. That puts you at $136 million in cap space. And you should, being the main word there, begin to dig out of hell. So we'll see if that happens or not. But Robert Saleh, why the hell not? Sure, let's do it.
any thoughts on Robert Saleh being hired to the Titans?
I wanted Robert Saleh for the Ravens.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm big
Damn.
on Saleh.
Wow.
Well, give us your reason.
Wait, you wanted somebody we hired? What? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
actually,
cool.
David, I thought Robert Saleh was a great candidate for us. And this is not a shot at the Jets, but I don't think there's really right now with that organization many.
No, take your shot at the Jets. Fuck the Jets.
It's not me. Hey, first it's them. Just a reminder, it's them.
It's not really just hating. It's just the way that the Jets is ran right now. I don't feel like there's any head coach can go in and you can really judge them off of their time in New York as a winning team. But you can judge them on what they did well. And what I mean by that was when Saleh had full control of the team, that was a top 5 defense for like a year and a half, 2 years almost. And then once they sided with Rodgers over Saleh, you saw the defense drastically took a step back. I think Saleh can be a good head coach because he has a really good defensive mind and presence. And like Sam said, he's very respected. It feels like he's a very respected coach amongst players. I just think he was in a really bad situation with New York. No, and that's not hating either. Hate first, but I just don't think with the way the team is ran as an ownership and then the different other player positions and stuff like that, it makes it very hard for me to see a head coach come and be successful right now, at least.
Yeah.
It's also important to note, what do you have to do next year with the Titans? Win more than 3 games.
Yeah.
Right? That's all you got to do. Get 5 or 6.
I think the one thing with the Titans, though, is Cam Ward showed you a lot of promising things this season. I think once you get rid of the Ridley and all them other wasted space players, I think they have a good young wide receiver core. I'm high on your tight ends. I really like your tight ends. And I think your defense isn't bad either. And I think Saleh comes in and makes that defense drastically better right off the pitch.
The only promises I see is you won't see Cam Ward on the floor as much. But that's about it.
Real girls get down on the floor. Hot take.
Go ahead, Hate
I
first.
don't know if you know that.
My thoughts on Saleh. Like he did have the Jets at 7-3 or 7-4 in 2022. Ended up losing out that season, finishing 7-10, which of course they did. But like Matt said, like they were a good defense. I think the best thing that I've seen as a Jets fan in this 2020s decade was Sauce Gardner running around with a cheese head after beating Aaron Rodgers. Like that might be a top moment of the 2020s for a Jets fan. So I think once Rodgers got there, though, I think that the team maybe ownership or Joe Douglas was just so desperate for a quarterback that they just got Aaron Rodgers, and then Aaron Rodgers brought the worst offensive coordinator of all time, his buddy who he drinks beer with and plays golf with, Nat Hackett, who is the biggest bum of all time and doesn't know the first thing about offense. And then you bring in old ass washed up Randall Cobb to stand in. Like, I just think it took all the wind out of Saleh's sails. And
forget Lazard too.
I think
Brickham Lazard.
Yeah, you can't forget
That's
about
part, of, that's
Lazard.
part of the Aaron Rodgers experience. It has to come with Michael Cobb and Alan Lazard.
The Aaron Rodgers experience.
Yeah, you're right. Alan Lazard too.
Did he go with one of those darkness retreats with Aaron? Is that what happened?
Yeah, they all went. All 3 of them went to a darkness retreat and did shrooms.
Drink this, now find me, bitch. Yeah.
Before we continue, Dave is about to hop off, and we'll catch him later. But you want to tell the people where they can find you at, brother?
I'll never let go, Dave. I'll never let go.
You can find me at Bruise and Ball Sports Podcast right on X. Me and Matt, we're trying to get back into schedules in life. It's kind of hectic right now, but yeah, we're trying to get back into it. We do have some really good ideas that we have for this coming season and in the off season. But to talk about the Robert Saleh real quick, I did not want him in Baltimore at all. I can't take a loser head coach. Especially one who just can't control one single player. Like, if you can't control one player, you lose the locker room. I can't have that on my team. That's just me.
I respect him. I appreciate you joining us tonight, brother.
Yeah.
And
peace out. I will be on more. Definitely trying to get back into X, trying to get back into Instagram, Facebook too. So, but yeah, I'll let Matt take it from here.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, see you.
Bye, Dave.
Dave, you're off tomorrow.
So
God, that guy sucks. Good cheese. Anyway.
Listen, I think Saleh is a very respected coach. He's a very defensive-minded coach. as well. I think he can do something. I mean, the Titans defense, let's be real here. The Titans defense was nowhere close to NFL caliber defense, the way they played, right? So with him coming in, I think he's able to help that defense stride and get those younger kids, to do their job and what they're supposed to do. So I honestly think that it's a good move for him.
Yeah, absolutely. The 49ers and the injuries that they had on their defense this year, and the fact that he was able to coach them up to play as well as they did, I mean, that kind of speaks for itself as to how good of a coach he is. And it's going to come down to if he's a head coach or if he's just a defensive coordinator. And I think the jury is still out on that differentiator. We've seen offensive coordinators not really be able to be head coaches, and they're kind of more suited to stay in the coordinator role. So unfortunately, hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he is that head coach caliber of a coach.
Yeah.
Gulp.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, you do got a young, promising team. So we'll see what happens with them. I mean, they got a high draft pick
Number 4
coming up. So
Hey, first has a question, teacher.
yes, hey first.
Are we going to talk about the other potential Titans hire by chance?
Ooh.
Who, Brian Daboll?
Brian Daboll, if
As the
he doesn't
OC?
get the Raiders job, then
He signed today in Nashville. He's in. So I guess he's not getting the Raiders job.
Oh,
As
there you have
last
it.
thing I read.
So
So
the
that-
two-
He signed. Wait. He signed?
yeah, he's signed 3-year deal for Brian Daboll. I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay. The last I heard, it was contingent on the Raiders job.
It only hit like an hour ago. I wouldn't sweat it. People are finally reporting it. So
I mean, I think that's big because the report came out that he was offering this past year. He offered from the Giants. The Giants offered the number 3 pick, a first round next year, and then multiple second round picks to trade up
Yeah.
and get Cam Ward. And the Titans said no. And now Daboll gets to go there and coach him. So I think they might be building something there.
God,
Yeah,
I hope so.
But Jackson Dart is better than Cam Ward, so don't even start that conversation
Yeah.
first. For the
We'll
love of
see about
fucking
that,
God.
buddy.
Hey, hot
I
takes.
didn't
Hey,
say
first.
that.
Hey, we'll talk.
Hey first.
Hey, hot takes.
Yo.
Hey, my bad. Is not letting me message you. I'm actually hopping off too.
Okay.
I
I
gotta be
appreciate you, bro.
So.
You can also find Matt on Brews and Balls with Dave as well. Appreciate you joining, brother.
Hey,
Hey,
it was nice
man.
to meet you guys and put faces in some of y'all accounts. I really appreciate y'all having a
Hey,
conversation.
no problem.
No problem.
Hey, Griff, I owe you that beer if you guys win. All right.
All right.
All right, buddy. See you guys.
I just want a hug, bro. That's all I need.
But going back to the conversation, hey, first, for the love of God, do not start that conversation right now.
Let's go
Please.
again.
We still got a couple more coaches to talk about, please.
I wasn't starting any conversation. I was just.
For the love of God.
Hey, don't do it to Hate First. Do it to me. Okay. He's not.
I
built
mean,
for
listen,
this.
I like Saleh for y'all, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Brian Daboll, he was a very good offensive coordinator for the Bills. I don't think that. I mean, to me personally, I still think that there's a question mark about his head coaching because of the situation he was put in when he came to the Giants. So it's a little bit hard to determine whether he's an actual head coach or not. But to go back as an OC, I think that's actually very good for him, especially at a team because I think Saleh is going to be able to run that defense, and he'll have full trust in Daboll to run that offense. You
I can
understand what I'm
see
saying?
that. I can
So
see that.
I don't think he's gonna tell Daboll what to do on the offense because he's gonna be worried about the defense and calling the defensive plays. You understand what I'm saying? So I think it could be a good combo for your team.
Supposedly, one of the big reasons he got the job was he had a plan for OC. Saleh had a plan for OC, and he had a plan for after his OC. So I don't know what that entitles, but that's just what is out there for what it's worth. Teach
But-
Teach asked in the comments who was the rookie wide receiver for the Titans last year. Well, there was A.O. Manor from Stanford, and there was DK from Florida. DK is the big time kick returner. So we hit on one finally. Let's trade him away. Anyway,
Speaking of vacancies, Showtime. What's your Dolphins doing, bud?
We got Jeff Hafley and we got Slowick as our OC. So it's a new face, new hopefully new things to come. I'm not getting any hopes up because I don't really know much about Hafley, to be
amen,
honest.
brother. Amen.
He was the Packers defensive coordinator.
But I know that Slowick was really good with Stroud in his rookie year, but Stroud has been on the downtrend ever since. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it.
May I? Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, hi. Sam Dean, Tennessee. Nice to meet you. Anyway, so the shtick is when it comes to Hafley, him and Shula are considered both very innovative when it comes to the defensive game of football. Both of them are unorthodox. Both of them have gotten a lot from players, and I know they didn't rank high up there in the Packers country, but he took a defense that could have bottomed out and put them in the teens with what he implemented and whatnot. So I found him and Shula to be kind of that same ilk, kind of that same branch, two innovative guys. So I think Hafley, who by all reports interviewed very well with us, but we knew he wasn't going to leave Miami without a job. So that should give you hope that Miami was like, hey, we got to nail this guy down and keep him here. So if that makes you feel any better.
Mafia, Griff, hey first. I know.
Yeah,
Listen, I know the three of y'all always want the Dolphins to stay down, so let's keep it unbiased.
Yeah,
I was nice.
Listen, I got nothing. I got nothing.
We all want each other's team to do bad. Luckily, me and Griff
Even me?
don't have
Damn.
to worry.
No.
The other
The issue right now is between Mafia and I.
Oh, all right. Okay.
But yeah, we all want each other's team to do bad. So I mean that is what it is. I
I
think
want hate first to soar. Soar, you hear me?
I think the issue in Miami, I think, is
He's a good boy.
quarterback. I think that's
He's a special boy.
clear. I think they had Mike McDaniel came in. He was the great offensive mind. They scored 70 points against Denver, and they don't really have anything. Didn't really have anything to show for it. I don't think. I think the offense is the issue there. Even despite having this great offensive mind and all this kind of stuff, they still couldn't get it done. So I think the issues there are there's lots. I don't think they have a good offensive line. They have a bad quarterback, and they only give their bad quarterback half a second to throw the ball before he's being sacked. So I think those are some issues. They have not a great defense either. So I don't know. I think maybe this half-league guy can come in and kind of fix some of the defense, and then you get that sorted. But you're stuck with Tua at, I think he's over $50 million. That last contract, the show me the money contract, which is really going to come back and bite them because they're not able to address any of the issues. It looks like Tyreek Hill wants out. Apparently, if you believe the rumors, they were one draft pick year away from trading Jalen Waddle to the Bills as well. So, I don't think there's a great culture there. I don't think the players want to stick around there. I think they got lots of problems.
Hey first, Sam, Griff.
Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to add. I really don't keep much track of the Dolphins. All I know is that they're right there with us usually when the season ends. I do think that they made the right call benching Tua, and hopefully they see that through and they just take the dead cap hit and get rid of him. He's terrible. He's like a walking zombie at this point. I think in some of my TikTok lives, like some people will come into chat and troll and be like, "Oh, the Jets signing Tua, in
that
free agency."
That
And
happens to you too? Oh,
let me tell you guys something live on X right now. If the Jets make the brain dead decision to sign Tua in free agency, that is one of the few conditions where I will no longer be a fan of the team.
wow.
You got that on record, right? Yes, you do.
It's
The
been
next
on
scene
record.
is me with a megaphone. Get off the ledge. You have so much to live for.
Not me. I'd be like, do a flip.
You're
Don't
not
worry,
you're
don't
not
worry,
a Titans fan. You're in New York. The media loves you.
Don't
I
worry.
mean, that
you
would
could
be
always
a
be a
bad.
Giants fan. You could always be. Things can always be worse. You could be a Giants.
Hey, at least
fan.
listen. I'm giving the Giants. I'm going to give the
whoa,
Giants a
whoa,
little
whoa,
bit more
whoa.
leeway over the Jets. At least
Hold
they
on.
actually won championships in 2000s and 2010s.
Mafia. Please don't do that, Mafia.
You can always be a
Obviously
worse.
trolling.
The Giants are the only real New York team. Like, are we serious?
Neither one of you guys are in New York. Are we
It
serious?
doesn't matter.
Buffalo is basically on the
What?
border of Toronto at this point.
Like,
You
Buffalo
guys
should
are
just
in
be a
New
Canada.
Jersey. You guys are in New Jersey, which is not New York.
Yeah, and
And-
Buffalo should be in Canada.
Buffalo
You
is
want-
the only team that's in New York.
No,
so-
they're Canada.
Buffalo should be a Canada. I agree with hot take on
They should
this
be
one.
They should be the Canadian Bills. That's what they should be. Okay?
The maple syrup bills.
Listen, we got what? How many? We got the Ravens hiring the Chargers.
Minter.
Minter. Jesse, is it Jesse? Is that his first name?
Yep.
Jesse Minter. Yep.
They go from a Super Bowl winning coach with Harbaugh to Jesse Minter. It's going to be a whole different culture change. You got
Minter has been there before, though.
I know, but I'm
When
saying
their
though,
defense
not
was
as
good,
the
he was their coordinator.
not as the head coach though. So it's obviously a culture change. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying?
Sure.
I-
No, 100%.
I actually like the hire of Minter to the Ravens. You know, you got a defensive minded coach. That defense was atrocious last year. That Ravens defense was really atrocious. They had no way of getting to the quarterback. They had some good plays, but they gave up one too many points. And I think Minter is going to turn that defense around. At least make Ray Lewis and Ed Reed happy, saying that the Ravens are back to their old defensive ways.
Hey, first Sam Mafia.
I do like the hire. I do think that the Ravens and Steelers find themselves in a odd situation where there is a lot of head coach turnover these days, and they were two franchises that stuck to their guns and had these coaches that won a Super Bowl a long time ago, and maintained a certain level of excellence where they were always like a perennial playoff contender, always for the most part over 500 record, competitive. And I think that focusing on the Ravens, not to talk about the Steelers, we haven't gotten to them yet, but I do think that there's one scenario where the defense is much improved. Lamar takes another step forward, and the offense looks good, and they do ascend to the next level, and they go back to competing after missing the playoffs this past year. But I do think that there's always that scenario, new coach, new culture. Like John Harbaugh was deeply ingrained into the Baltimore culture, and he established this over 18 years of coaching, and now you have a new guy in. Everyone in that building is used to one way of doing things, just day by day, and now there's another change. Might result in a bit of a culture shock, and they might take a step back this next year. And who knows how much patience Lamar is going to have for something like that. So I do think that scenario is on the board. Not saying it's the most likely scenario, but just something to watch out for.
Yeah, I would agree. I would be, I think like all of the Bills, the Steelers, the Ravens, all these teams that were good, but still ended up firing their coach. I think there's always that risk that it's going to backfire a little bit or take a couple of years. But at the end of the day, I think Baltimore there's lots of similarities between Baltimore and Buffalo, and I think in both situations they needed a little bit of a switch up, a little bit of change of scenery, and I mean, hopefully it works out for them.
Showtime.
Nothing to really say about this. I think it's a good change, but don't really know what to think of it.
Well, we all know what to think of the Steelers for hiring Mike McCarthy. So we're not even going to talk about that. Not even worth my time with that.
That doesn't. I don't hate that hire as much as
It's
other
not that
people do.
it's not that I hate that
It's
hire.
not,
Mafia.
I don't think it's a hatred thing. You know
I
what
don't
I
hate
mean?
the hire. I just that team is just like, you got the
Like
whole
you're
Rodgers.
gonna be
Even though
hiring another
Rodgers
coach.
coming back, they have no
It's-
quarterback. Their wide
I feel
receiver
like
core
it's-
is like, you know what I mean, and their running back room is like okay. Like it's just there's a lot of problems with the Steelers that no one wants to face and realize.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More than just hiring a coach like that. Like they've had 4 coaches, in like the last what
No, they've had 4 coaches
40
their whole franchise.
since the 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They've had like 4 coaches since their franchise
So
started.
I don't think it's much of a coaching problem. I just think it's like the team itself. Like looking at the years, like, besides the Ben Roethlisberger years, but like there was only a couple years where that team was like a phenomenal team all around. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's something about that team that just always like, has a problem. Like and it's not just like a simple problem or a simple fix. It's like, like last year the whole offense was just bad.
It's
You know what I'm saying?
predictable.
So
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike McCarthy's a good offensive minded coach who can come in and maybe fix that. I think if you put, I don't know the exact details of it, but I think if you put Mike McCarthy's resume up against Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh's, it's pretty much the exact same as those
yeah,
other.
it is. It is.
It's not like they hired some bum off the street. Like
No,
he's-
I
he's-
definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you. And, we'll see. Obviously, we're just predicting things, right? So until he's able to get in there and he's able to add the pieces that he thinks he needs for that team, what we seen this past year, it was just horrifying. But who was your OC, though?
Arthur Smith.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if he can bring in a better OC, obviously, I mean, Arthur Smith is the bottom of the barrel of an OC, but so anyone's better.
only one
I
way
mean,
to go is up. But I mean,
yeah, so I'm saying,
Mike
Mafia,
McCarthy-
you're better
McCarthy
than
himself.
Arthur Smith. So let's just be real here. You know what I mean? But I mean, so like you said, there's only one way up, and one way to go, and that's up from here. You know what I mean? So like I can see it potentially being better, but there's just so many problems on that offensive side that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, I mean, yes, like I think they need like a long-term solution at quarterback for sure. I think they have DK Metcalf. He's a good first option at wide receiver. They have those what's his name? Kenneth Gainwell looked like he was playing well for them this year. I don't think they have as many holes as the play on the field might suggest. I think a lot of it is coaching, and I think Mike McCarthy, being an offensive-minded coach, comes in and fixes some of those issues pretty quickly. And he's able to get some better play out of some of the players that they already have on the roster.
Griff, you wanted to say something?
No, I don't.
And besides Harborough, any other coaches that were hired?
No,
I'm not talking about OCs. We're talking about head coaches.
I don't think there's been any other head coaching hire.
Did Falcons hire their coach yet?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, no,
that's-
Stefanski. That's a good
Yeah.
hire. That's a good hire.
It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy to me that Zach Taylor is the coach who kept his.
Oh
out
yeah.
Out of all the coaches in the AFC North, Zach Taylor is the one who kept his
How
job.
is he still head coach?
I think he'd be
Because
gone after
the
this year.
owner doesn't want to pay him. That's what it comes down to. Ooh, he's still on contract. Will we fire him? Oh, well, guess can't have that. Guess we better keep him.
So, Falcons, we think Stefanski's going to turn that team around.
I think he was put in a bad situation with the Browns, especially after Baker Mayfield left. I thought he was a good coach. He's a 2-time coach of the year. He showed it. He brought the Browns to the playoffs. I think he can turn the Falcons franchise around and utilize Robinson more. He can utilize Drake London more. He can utilize Kyle Pitts if he signs back with the Falcons. He's a good coach, I think, but he was just put in a bad situation after Baker left.
Yeah, he couldn't make the 8 other quarterbacks work this year. What a shame. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think also Atlanta might be another team that needs a quarterback fix. I don't know what the outlook is like for Penix, and I don't think
For old man Cousins.
or old man Cousins. I don't know if Penix is the guy you wanna hitch your wagon to, but
What?
Why you gotta say it like that?
Yeah, I know.
Phoenix.
I'm tired. You can't
how do
be
you
doing
see it?
this.
How do you see it?
You said hitch your wagon to it too.
I think, yeah, the Falcons cleaned house after this season, and
A-bomb.
they brought in Matt Ryan to be their president of football operations, and I think one of his first moves was to go out and hire Stefanski. I think that whoever the Falcons GM was had it coming, because you signed Kirk Cousins to a fully guaranteed 4-year deal, and then you have a top 10 draft pick and you use it on Michael Penix, who's had his knee operated on like 5 times in college. And sure enough, when he finally gets his opportunity to start, he's dealing with leg problems. So just not I think the Falcons GM at the time thought that, he saw it from a different angle than everybody else, and he saw something that we all didn't. I think that's, maybe too early to call, but I think that they were just flat out wrong in that draft pick, and I think that they ruined a potential, top 10 pick. And then, even Kirk Cousins, when he played to finish out the year, the Falcons finished 8-9. The interesting stat that I have is that if the Jets don't arbitrarily beat the Falcons 1 week in the season, the Jets get the number 1 overall pick, and the Falcons make the playoffs and win the NFC South. So, Cousins was playing well to finish the year. Not to say that he's their guy going forward. I do think that they need to draft a young quarterback for Stefanski to develop. But
I think Cousins is the one you're starting this year, though, right? You're not going to start Penix or anything like that.
I guess, yeah.
Is there
Why you laugh?
It's pretty funny.
The way he said it. It's like that. Now I'm like, my stupid brain is just like, boy, Penix really stands up straight, doesn't he? Yeah.
I didn't know there was another way to
stiff,
pronounce
that
his name.
Penix.
I didn't know that there was another way to pronounce it. I thought that's how it was pronounced.
No, it's Penix. That's even better.
Penix.
You silly Canadian.
Oh man,
I'm so tired.
people have to say they're friends. But hey, first, I think you nailed it on the head. I think they need a young quarterback that they're able to develop. I mean, they have a very good team. Their defense is pretty well stacked too. So, I mean, it's not like their defense has a lot of holes. So, if they can get a young quarterback in there and develop him and turn him into at least, a franchise quarterback in their eyes, then they'll definitely have a chance to win that division after what we've seen the last couple of years with that division. I know, the Bucks are always going to be there with Baker Mayfield. They had a lot of injuries this year, but the other two teams, it's just, until the Saints figure it out at quarterback position as well. So,
if the Carolina Panthers can win that division, anybody can win that division. That division
Fair
wide.
point.
I totally agree. And then the last one, the big news, the first one that people were talking about was Harbaugh going to the Giants. And and I'll say it like Sam said it, we can only go up from here. they can just build me a structure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the last time we were in the playoffs was 2016. No, I mean 2 years ago with Daniel Jones, but a real good shot at trying to win something with 2016 when Eli Manning was still there, when we had Odell Beckham and stuff. I mean, yeah, we did beat the Vikings, but we knew we weren't going any farther than that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, just really build me a structure, man. I mean, he did great things in Baltimore. I'm not saying that he's the best coach in the world, but at least I know that he's going to take fault for his problems. He's going to take fault for his actions that he does. He's going to try to build a team for success. You know what I mean? And we're not bringing, Joe Judge, that was a special teams coordinator for the Patriots, to be a head coach. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I think it's a good
Yeah, I mean,
hire.
I feel like I like Dable. I liked him as an offensive coordinator. Maybe the jury's still out on if he's a head coach or not, like we said before. But so I feel like I feel like you're right in saying, you need to build some kind of a structure, some kind of plan for success, where it felt like a little you guys were just kind of hoping that Daniel Jones is going to die, and now you're going to like you need to kind of build something that you can stay consistent with, and I think if you're that's exactly what John provides, and so I think it's a great hire.
Hey, first, Sam, Showtime, Griff.
Good hire, a solid hire. I mean, we were up next to get him, so you made all the right moves to, lock him in there. I still think your GM should be fired somehow, some way.
I agree.
And maybe they'll get to that down the road. But no, look, you made all the right moves. You got the hot coaching hire. Now we just need results. That's all you need. So,
yeah, I think obviously a good coaching hire. I think maybe a change of scenery is the best thing for John Harbaugh. I think it was starting to get a little stale in Baltimore, and not because he's a bad coach, but because I just think you keep trying the same thing over and over again, and you feel like you have the right pieces in place, and it's just not working out. I think he needs a reset. I think that the Giants offer that for him. Great young quarterback who showed a lot of promise in year one. Great rookie running back who showed promise before getting injured. He'll be back next year. And I think that there's promise there. I think that, like a lot of you have already mentioned, just trying to build a foundation. I think that this is a good coach to do just that. He's done it before. When he was brought in to coach the Ravens almost 20 years ago now. He did build a great foundation and won a Super Bowl, with Flacco at quarterback. So I do think that it's a good hire, and yeah, I guess we'll see if it leads to wins for the Giants. But one thing I wanted to bring up is that he was hired, they had agreed on a deal, and then I think a few days passed where he wasn't officially signed yet, and then come to find out that the main point of dispute in the contract was the Giants typically have the head coach report to the GM, and then the GM reports to the owner. John Harbaugh did not want that. John Harbaugh wanted a straight shot to the Mara family, and they eventually granted that to him. So I do think that this is going to ultimately end up in Joe Schoen being the odd man out, but I guess for now they're keeping him around.
Yep.
I think it is a great hire by the Giants, and I hate the Giants because what they did twice against my team. But I'm a realist. I think they got a good coach. And we already saw. I think he fired some coaches already when he entered the building. Not only that, you're going to work with Jackson Dart, who's a good quarterback. He just needs to learn when to slide and not get concussed. You got Cam Scatterboot, who was pretty damn good. He's like a human wrecking ball out of the backfield. You got Malik Neighbors. There's your there's your franchise wide receiver. And now you just got to build an infrastructure, like you said, hot take. And I wouldn't be surprised if he like gets a maybe I'm gonna say like a 7 to 8 win next year and go on the way up because when he first started with the Ravens, he got him to the playoffs as a wild card team then and just had winning records for his whole tenure as a Ravens head coach, except for 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we can only go up from what we did the last couple of years. So, can't go any worse than what we were. I mean, we have a franchise wide receiver. We have a potential franchise quarterback. We have a potential franchise running back. Do you know what I mean? Probably need to add a couple more pieces on the offensive line. We got a young, promising defensive line that could tear up offenses.
You're gonna need a D back though.
I mean, the only really thing that we need would be cornerbacks and maybe safeties. I mean, we have two phenomenal linebackers in McFadden and Okereke. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But like I said, we can only go up from here, guys. Only go up from here. It's been a long drought for New York sports. Long drought for all three of us. For any New York sport. It's been bad.
Yankees 2025 World Series.
Yeah. But before we close it out here.
Oh, snap.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Wow.
Sam, get your friend, Sam, please.
I love how you think anyone listens to me. I think it's great. I can't even get my 5-year-old girls to behave. What makes you think that I can be like?
So we'll do a quick hey
Stop
first
that.
MVP. Hey first. MVP.
MVP.
Oh, so
MVP Penix.
I've been on Stafford all year, for earlier, yeah.
Sorry.
When we were doing the weekly show, I think towards the end of the season, you started to, ask all of us like who's our current pick for MVP. My answer was always the same. I always said Stafford looks like the best quarterback in the league, and I think that now that the regular season's all said and done, I think that that's still the case. I think he's going to win it. I think that Drake May, phenomenal second year, definitely made a huge jump, and I think that he's going to continue to ascend. I think he's going to be a perennial, top 5 quarterback, for many years now, which sucks as a fan of an AFC East team. But I think that Stafford deserves this one. I think he did have the better season, and I think Drake May will be in the running for many more.
Does this game that happened this past weekend have any influence on it?
It shouldn't. Drake May, like Stafford had a good game stat wise, and Drake May had a bad game, but I don't think either of them impacted. It's technically a regular season award.
I think the votes are already submitted anyways. So I don't think it could have been. I don't think it could have impacted the outcome of the votes anyways.
Yeah, you
It
say
doesn't
that
matter
now.
for playoffs now.
Yeah, you say that now. But that
think-
Josh Allen Lamar matchup a couple years ago, that made a difference. I'll tell you that
Last
much.
year.
Yeah. Regardless of when the votes are submitted, I think it's meant to be a regular season award. I think that no playoff game, good or bad, should impact where they stood at the end of the regular season.
Sam?
Yeah, listen, I am also all over Matt Stafford, but anyway, I picked it. I was going to roll with him because at the beginning of the year preseason, before the football games were even played, I keep thinking he's closer and closer to the end of his career and whatnot, and he's going to really, really push his chips in here. And man, oh man, did he go on one hell of a tear. So Matt Stafford is my MVP for sure.
Showtime.
I think Stafford. Not. I'm not saying this just because I'm a Dolphins fan. I hate the Patriots, whatever. But I just think the season he had was for how old he is. and as maybe a retirement tour, I just think it was special.
Mafia.
Yeah, I'll say Stafford as well. I just think it's hard to overlook. What did he end up with? 47 passing touchdowns.
46. Yeah.
It's hard to overlook that when you're looking for the most valuable player.
46 and 8. He only threw 8 interceptions this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the throw under 10 interceptions in all year. It's and throw that many touchdowns and have 4,700 passing yards is a big deal to me. Like I like that a lot. You know what I mean? So, Griff.
As much as I want it to be Manny, it's not going to be him. It's going to be Stafford. I don't think he's going to retire, but this was one hell of a season. What is he, like 37, 38 years old?
No, I think
he's 37.
Yeah.
I think he's turning 38 next month.
It was one good 37-year-old. I think it was better than Brady's when he went than Brady's 37, but he was going all out this year. I mean, the no-look passes, the pinpoint accuracy, he's going to win it.
Okay. Besides Griff, anyone else taking the Patriots in the Super Bowl?
No.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh, don't worry. I love you too, Sam.
Nice.
I'll send you some wings, baby. Don't you worry about it.
Nice. Can a meteor just drop and we just have Bad Bunny as a halftime show? Is that possible?
I just know that
that halftime show has already created controversy. Is online? That is
whoever they pick is going to be controversial. It's just how we are.
Now the script
outrage.
The script is to have Cardi B on stage as well.
Oh,
that was what you took
now I'm definitely not watching it. Oh, Kerr!
I've seen the Super Bowl script too. The refs win.
Damn.
Maybe we can get another like Beyonce style halftime show and it kills the power and they just stop the game altogether and then nobody has to win the Super Bowl.
That's fucking. I mean, they do. The practice facility is next to an electrical shit, whatever the hell they are.
Mafia.
So
you ready?
Who's got it on TV? Who's got it on TV this year? Do we know?
NBC.
Oh God! How many times does Chris Collinsworth almost?
Oh
say
man, I'm
how many
definitely
times?
I'm definitely watching it on volume down.
I mean, I gotta say, this guy, he
sure.
kind of reminds me of a certain
I
quarterback.
hate Collinsworth so
I'm definitely not listening to him commentate.
He
that
wears
Super
a
Bowl.
red jersey, you know.
He's on his hands and knees for homo.
Oh man,
just marry him.
You go the off season hoping,
Now, here's a guy.
wanting football to be back. You go the whole off season waiting months, and then it's like the first Sunday night game. Collinsworth slides in and goes, "Now here's a guy," and I'm just like, "Fuck! I hate this all over again, man. Like, what are we doing here?"
It gets into your brain. Like it drills right in there. You're
I feel
like,
bad.
oh, God.
I feel so bad for Tirico because he's one of the best play-by-play announcers. Just have a new partner at this point.
Here's a guy.
We need to get rid of- we
I'm
also
doing
need to
a
get rid of Al
Texans game, but I'm going to talk about Patrick Mahomes. You know.
We also need to
So-
get rid of Al Michaels. That guy.
Oh yeah,
Oh, for
he
sure.
has no gusto whatsoever.
No,
He's
no,
just
he needs to retire.
And he scores a touchdown. What do you think about that, Kurt?
Yeah.
And Kurt's
I
like,
remember
You know,
one of the plays.
I
One of the
would love
plays.
to.
One of the plays the Bills did like the hook and ladder late in the fourth quarter to like come back and get back into the game, and like you would have thought they punted the ball. I'm like, what are we doing here, man? Like,
You know who
So-
I would like to see in the NFL? I'm not gonna lie to you.
Who?
The guy from the NBA with the double bang. What's his
Mike
name?
Breen. Matt Breen.
Breen, bro. Honestly, I think he would do a phenomenal job in that.
I'd like to see that Charlotte Hornets.
I want to hear a bang
Yeah,
after
yeah.
a big deep ball or a
Yeah.
big play.
But we're gonna do outros. But while you're doing your outro, give me your Super Bowl MVP, and then we'll just move on down. Hey, first,
Yeah, so I guess I'll give my Super Bowl MVP first. I think it's going to be JSN. I think it's going to be a similar, when the Rams won a few years ago and Cooper Kupp won the MVP over Matt Stafford. I just think that JSN has been phenomenal for them for the Seahawks all year. He might win Offensive Player of the Year, and I think he's going to go off in the Super Bowl. I think he'll have over 100 yards. I think that Gonzo might mirror him all game, but I think that they find ways to get him the ball no matter what. I think Kubiak's done a phenomenal job of scheming him open no matter what, and I think he'll ultimately win Super Bowl MVP instead of like giving it to Darnold, who's this is assuming the Seahawks win, of course, but yeah, in terms of outro, so I guess thanks for having me on. It's been a while. I'm glad to be back on here. You can find me on X. You can find me on TikTok at Hate First Sports, just like my display name says. I go live on TikTok. I try to go live every Sunday. So yeah, just talk about whatever, now that the off season's coming, it'll just be more casual streaming. But yeah, you can find me there. And thanks again for having me on.
Sam?
He said JSN, which was mine. So I'll throw a curveball, a little bit of a curveball. Patrick Mahomes. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, I'm going to go Kenneth Walker here. If they get him going and he pulls off like what he did, it was against the 49ers. They had 3 touchdown runs and whatever else. That guy could win it. I think it'd be fun to have a running back just go absolutely crazy at the Super Bowl and get the MVP. But for me, you can find me on Fanboys Unleashed. All the socials are called Fanboys Unleashed, or the TikTok's Fanboy Unleashed. I also go live on occasion, and I have a show every Friday and sometimes Sunday night, depending on if I can get a guest or not. So Fanboys Unleashed, come talk about your fandom.
Showtime.
My Super Bowl MVP, I have Sam Darnold. Just a shot.
I thought it was me. I thought it was me for a second. Damn.
You can find me on X, Showtime 3011, TikTok, same thing, IG, same thing.
Mafia.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you guys took all the picks, but I'm going to stick with my original one with the same as Hate First. I think it's going to go to JSN. I think they're going to find ways to get him the ball, and I think he's going to have a big game. You can find me on Twitter at Mafia Members Pod, Mafia Members Podcast on YouTube. Yeah, I've taken some time away from doing streaming, but I'm looking to get back into it. So I'll be doing some stuff over the off season. If anybody is looking for a guest for a show at any point, let me know. I will be available.
I'll see you Sunday night, Mafia.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
We all know where we're going with my pick. It's gonna be Drake May. I think he's gonna knock off I think he's gonna play up to his standards in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's gonna be against the Seahawks, but maybe this break could tell him take things slow. Not everything has to go fast, and maybe the O-line will hold up to give him the plays to develop.
Baby, turn the lights
And
down low.
and yeah, I really do think he's gonna go back to his
Something slow.
I'll
Baby,
take
we ain't get no
But, yeah,
place. to go.
you'll my Twitter handle's right there at Spartan22. I live tweet baseball games and football games whenever I want to. And I just feel so good talking to you guys again. It's been a long ass time, and hopefully we do this before Super Bowl again.
Hey, Griff, one more time for you, bud.
No,
I appreciate all you gentlemen. I appreciate
So
Matt and Dave
angry.
as well for joining me tonight. I know it's been a while since I've streamed, but I'm gonna go with JSN. I think JSN is gonna explode in the Super Bowl. They're gonna find him. They're gonna find a ways to get him the ball. I mean, he's been doing it all year long. I mean, he's a freak athlete, dude. He really is. So I think that's who's gonna win the Super Bowl MVP. I do personally think the Seahawks will win, but me personally, I'm just looking for a good game. I don't want to watch a blowout. I don't want to watch a low-scoring game. I just want to see a high-scoring game and go back
And
and
Bad
forth.
Bunny.
And Bad Bunny. But no, I really do appreciate you guys. Hopefully we can start doing this back up weekly again and see y'all faces again next week. I appreciate y'all. You know where you can find me at. So
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
Good stream. guys.
Appreciate it.